UFC 313, Pereira vs Ankalaev, full card predictions. I've already done it, but I forgot to hit the unmute button on my microphone, so now I feel like a fucking idiot. But now we'll start with the predictions before I go on a rant. Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. I'm going with the underdog, I believe. Oh no, literally same odds. Because it is a 50-50, let's be honest, let's be a 50-50. It literally is just a 50-50. I've already done a breakdown on this fight, you can go watch that, it's on the channel somewhere. I'm going with Magomed Ankalaev, and I really don't want him to win this fight, so Pereira, please knock him out. My main problem with this is Pereira's only chance of KOing Magomed is in the first two rounds, because after that he's going to be exhausted. And I mean by that is because Magomed's going to be grappling in this fight, and I don't think he's going to strike with him. If he does, I'm going to look stupid. But even if he does strike with him, he is a good striker. He's got good boxing, good straight shots, which are Pereira's weakness. He's also a southpaw, which Pereira's always struggled with. Does not cancel out the calf kick, though. He can always calf kick. He was landing really good ones on Jamal Hill, who is a southpaw, and the main issue, well, not the main issue, but just a similarity I've seen in Jamal Hill and Ankalaev. They both drop their right hands when they're hand fighting. So when southpaw and orthodox are in front of each other, they sort of hand fight, and they just sort of like bob the hand up and down and retract their arm back and forth. When Ankalaev does this, his hand is so low, and I feel like if Pereira can land the jab and the jab again, get him used to it, lower his hand more and more, and then just land the left hook over the top, he can do that in the first two rounds, but I don't think Magomed's going to give him that sort of opportunity. I think he's just going to be like, strike on the feet a bit, strike on the feet a bit, strike on the feet a bit, take down, and then, yeah. The main highlight I need to highlight is Alex Pereira's takedown defense is shit. It's terrible, let's be honest. But it is pretty decent off the cage. Like, he's sort of just got the strength to hold them there. But in the open, where there's no cage and it's like in the middle of the cage, Magomed can get him down as much as he likes. Pereira's lower third is so weak that he just topple him over because he's so long. And you also got to remember that Jan Blachowicz also got his back and controlled him. Yuri got mount or half guard. I cannot remember off the top of my head. I swear it was mount. He did get up, but that is no Magomed Ankalaev. Magomed has good top control. I know he's boring, but we've got to give him compliments because he's not shit. He is pretty decent everywhere. But I will be going with Ankalaev, and yeah, I'm probably going to get shit for that, but I just think Ankalaev's going to win. I think he can mix up the martial arts. You got to think as well, his takedown is going to affect his striking and make it better. His takedown threat, if he even goes for it, he better go for it. I don't know why he's trying to strike with people he could easily out-grapple, but I think he will grapple in this fight because of the calf kick danger. But yeah, I think Pereira's reign is over. I think it's done. He'll probably get a rematch when he loses, or if he loses. I don't know why I'm saying like it's certain, but it is a very 50-50 matchup. I will be rooting for Alex Pereira, but we'll be moving on to the co-main event of Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. I'm going with Fiziev. You know, fuck, I'm gonna have some fun on this card. Is Fiziev the underdog? No, he's the favourite. Alright, cool. I'm going with Justin Gaethje. No, I'm done. I'm going with Fiziev purely off Gaethje. He's coming off a KO loss. He had a close fight with him in the first time round. He poked him in the eye, cut him open. It looked like a punch. He was sort of like blinking, like trying to like look at the ref, being like, "Yo, I've been fucking eye poke," but the ref did fuck all. I do believe that Fiziev was too busy trying to spam that lead switch kick. It was ridiculous. Like, he was just spamming it, and it was getting blocked, and I think a few times it just hit the elbow, but he was still going for it. But yeah, and I feel like the main difference in this fight is just the power difference. Like, when Gaethje hits, it's like you know what I mean, like, hard. When Fiziev lands, it's more like too hard, not as powerful shot, so it's more like if you get me. I don't know if that made any sort of sense. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Steve. I think his chin's probably gone now. In that fight, he was landing good shit, but obviously Justin Gaethje's always had a chin. He's took loads of damage in his career. Now he's been KO'd. Will he be able to hold up the same? I don't think so. He's also had his nose shattered in his last fight. Yeah, and as well, he's going to get revenge from my boy Tony Ferguson, and he. So yeah, moving on. Jalen Turner versus Bamondes. Um, like the two biggest lightweights like in the division, I believe. It's stupid, really fucking stupid. How these mostly Jalen Turner. He should be a welterweight. He has the most weight misses, I think, at 155 or something stupid. I don't think Bamondes has actually ever failed weight, so maybe he's okay. He's a long southpaw. It is rangy. This Jalen Turner I'm on about. It will be difficult to deal with. He does have that. He is retarded. I would love an IQ test for these fighters. I'm not joking. Like I do think like a great thing is like when it pops up before fights and it's like 6'3", weighs 155.5, and then you've got like 156, and you've got both 6'3". They're both from Chilean United States. Their record, it should also have like IQ, or like fight IQ somehow, so they can measure, because some of these fighters are retarded, man. Like some of them, like Brendan Allen, he's the one who's retarded too. Like he's so good and talented, but he's just ruins it with his fight IQ. So I will be going with Bamondes. Don't know if you could tell by my pure just yap. His pull counters are class. Straight shots are class. He's powerful. His fight in the sphere was amazing. Great performance from him. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. Jalen Turner's a little bit chinny. He doesn't react to punches really well. But we're moving on because I need to get through this video quick, as my last one was super long. Amanda Lemos versus Lucindo. I'm going to make this one quick. I'm going with Lucindo. She's the younger fighter. Obviously Amanda Lemos has always been a fucking power puncher, but I'm just going to go with Lucindo. This is a great shit break between, Jalen Turner and Bobby Green. Moving on to Bobby Green. Now, you can look at their record alone. 2-1 is the ratio between wins to losses here. Bobby Green is 2-1 in wins to losses. He's also got a no contest, and he's also got a draw. Ruffy fights like McGregor, like a flat-footed McGregor. He really does fight like a flat-footed McGregor. He had a fairly close fight with Lon Top, but I had people saying like it was super close and could have went to Lon Top. No, it couldn't. It really couldn't. He clearly won the last 2 rounds. I don't know what people are saying. I honestly have a thing here where have people actually watch these fights, because they talk about them, and I'm just sat there just like, I've just watched that fight, and I did not think it was super close to the point where Ruffy should have lost that. He did have a close fight. It was competitive in a round, the first round. The third round was a little bit more competitive. But the second round, he was just fucking pinging him on the chin and just like, all you do was just fucking, And I'm just like, you know what? Ruffy, he's out of fighting nerds too, so they're good. I swear the fighting nerds always have really good finishing potential, but I'll highlight one thing from Bobby Green's fights that I've noticed. He gets dropped by everyone. All these fighting nerds all have great finishing potential. When they have an opponent hurt, they 9 times out of 10 never make it out alive. 9 times out of 10. I think Baralho, didn't he TKO like Jared Cannonier, who was like the most unfinishable fighter on the fucking roster of middleweight? That just goes to show. And I know this isn't Ruffy, but Ruffy also has great finishing potential. I think he just won 2 opponents last. Oh no, his last fight was a decision. But you get what I'm trying to say. If you're getting dropped by Tony Ferguson, Ruffy's probably going to KO you. And you have been dropped, and you are a bit chinny. So I think this is probably going to be the end of King Green, as he likes to call himself now. Just say age here. I didn't say it. I swear he's like 40 or something now at lightweight. I think his time's over. He's just been choked out by. Well, he had his arm broken in that fight too. Paddy Pimblett. So, fair enough. At least he didn't tap, you know what I mean? Fair enough. Fair enough to him. But yeah. He does have great bull counters, but his chin's wide open too. Just Ruffy, I am worried. A lot of these fights on this card are just. They are just 50-50s. It's hard to choose, but I am going with Ruffy purely off Green just getting KO'd. Well, not KO'd, but like you just get chinned by everyone and dropped, and then somehow survives. I think Ruffy would get him out in that sort of situation. But we'll move on to, I think it's prelim. Yeah, prelim headliner of Curtis Blades versus Razvan Kuniev. Obviously, Curtis Blades coming off a loss to Thomas Pinon. And Kuniev is coming off the Contender Series. Obviously, that's what you do when they come off a Contender Series, when you go, hey, you over there, you've just won a Contender Series. You come fight Curtis Blades, number 5 ranked, only lost to legends of the sport. I fucking hate. And as well, he's also a steroid cheat. Not Blades, Kuniev. I swear he tested for like 4 different supplements. You shouldn't even be fighting. You should be banned from fighting. Go start a fucking pizza shop or something. You shouldn't be in the sport. You shouldn't even be fighting. It's actually ridiculous. And he also fought Ferreira, who lost to Ngannou. I probably think that Dana White has probably put him here. Hopefully he get his chin rearranged by Curtis Blades. We are hoping for this. But let's get into the breakdown before I rage more about Koniev getting a literal, probably a title shot if he wins. Like, not a title shot, but like a title contender match. You know, it's stupid. But obviously we know Blades, great takedowns and defense, straight shots. But he was controlled by Almeida. But Almeida's top level, and he's proven that. He is top level, as boring as he is. And we know people like to say that he's not boring. He's just really fucking good. And, you know, these type of people are also the type of people to try and act like they know the sport when they don't. You know what I'm trying to say. Right, and Kuniev's got a calf kick, a big teep. Most of his stuff comes from the clinch. I think Blade's going to catch him on the outside. Like, breaking from the clinch, he tends to raise his head, this Kuniev. I reckon that's when Blade will catch him and knock him out. And I hope he does. Trust me, we are all rooting for Blades. I've not found one person on the planet that is wanting Kuniev to win. He shouldn't even be fighting. He's a steroid cheat. Fucking stupid. Very stupid. But we're moving on now to Joshua Van versus Taisura. You see that oh my god, undefeated record. I can't even speak. This is what I'm talking about. You can't even speak. You see this undefeated record and you're like, oh, he must be good then. He is. No doubt about it. He's a very good grappler. In the first round against Cody Durden, he did show a grappling deficiency. This is Joshua Van. But this is what I've noticed. If he can survive the first round, sort of get his reads on the grappling, he sort of gets his takedown defense get better and better and better and better and better. I just think Joshua Van's going to defend the takedowns and beat him. Is he the underdog? I wouldn't be surprised. No, he's the favourite. I agree with it, but I was hoping he would be an underdog. I might place a bet on him, but Joshua Van probably going to win this. He has great takedown defense. Durden was literally just trying to stall against the cage against him. Boxing, he's powerful. Takedown defense gets better and better as the fight goes on. I feel like this is a no-brainer, to be honest. But I could really see Joshua Van losing it too. Taishira's oh my god, I'm saying the wrong names for different fighters. I am stupid. Tashura sort of goes for submissions he knows he can't get to sort of make it look like he's going for submission attempts, but it just doesn't work like that in the scoring. He was trying to go for a knee bar when someone had his back. I feel like if Joshua Van gets his positions, he'll sort of finish the fight. I am really high on Joshua Van. I do think hang on. 155. Well, why did it say 130? Did he miss weight in his last fight? Yeah, I don't know. I'm choosing Joshua Van. I think Joshua Van's a class prospect, up and coming. I think, is he in the rankings? Hang on. He's not in the rankings. Usually has like a little tick near his name. Right, that's fair enough then. But I feel like he wins this, gets in the rankings, gets a title, not title, a ranked opponent. He should do anyway. Yeah, I reckon he wins. Probably TKO. Anyway, moving on. Bruno Ferreira versus Armen Petrosian. So if you don't know, he fought Abbas on the 308 card. He fought Shara on the 308 card. Now, one is coming off a KO loss. One is coming off a submission loss. One looked meh. The other one looked like he didn't even look like it's hard for me to explain. I don't want to say he didn't try, but it looks like he didn't try in the fight because he just sort of just only started rushing ahead in like round 2. This is Ferreira. Armen Petrosian was sort of like landing and all that type of stuff. But he sort of struggled with like Abbas's range on the feet. Armen is a really good striker. I reckon he can replicate that. My only issue is, will Ferreira, being a Brazilian, will he take down Petrosian? Because Petrosian can't grapple if you don't know. I know. I didn't fucking know. He's Russian. He should be. But he cannot grapple whatsoever. He's fucking terrible at grappling. Will Bruno Ferreira grapple? And I don't think he will. I think like Petrosian will keep the range. It'll be harder for him to get the takedowns. I think Petrosian wins via unanimous decision. Yeah. But now we're moving on to the next fight of the card, which is Alex Morono versus Carlos Leal, who should have won on the 308 card himself. Right, I'll give you a breakdown of this one then. Morono's a powerful little boxer, tough as fucking nails, fair enough to him. He almost has a 2-to-1 ratio in losses. It wins to losses. Carlos Leal got robbed in his last fight against Feretnikov. I think it is how you say his name. I love how I can say that, but not basic names like Ruffy's first name. Getting worse and worse, I swear. I'm choosing Leal. I think if Leal got that decision, he would have been like, yeah, it's annoying. It's really annoying. Because Carlos Leal, that was his first fight in UFC and he should have won. That would have been a great statement because I see Feretnikov is just outside of the rankings, if not already in them. That's how I see Feretnikov. He's like sort of just outside the rankings. He just beat him. While Alex Morono, he just sort of just like he just has it. He just scraps. You gotta respect it. He just scraps. So I'm gonna go with Carlos Leal. He is also very fucking powerful. Some of the shots sounded gross in there, grotesque. They sounded awful. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna go with Liam, and I think Liam. As well, Alex Morono, just gonna say this much: when he hits, he sort of stays in the same position. His coaches tell him this, and he still stays in the same position. And you're just gonna get hit with overhands. I do think Morono's tough enough to just hang it out, but I reckon it'll be a good dominant decision. So we'll move down the card, going on to the early prelims of Myron Santos versus Francis Marshall. I'm gonna go with Myron Santos. He's a fucking dog, isn't he? He's just really fucking good. Like, defense, calf kicks, powerful. Has the he does cage hug a lot as well. Or was that his opponent? No, that was his opponent. Like, he is good. Francis Marshall is just stands there. Like, no, he doesn't just stand there. I'll give some respect to him. Like, he fakes. When he fakes, he sort of just fakes, but doesn't think the punch is already through, if you get me. So he's just faking something that no one's going to react to. You could just get the legs kicked off him, and one of Myron Santos's main weapons is calf kicks. So there's really nothing you can do. There's nothing he can really do, because if he jabs forward, he's going to get his leg kicked out of him. If he stands there, he's going to get his leg kicked off him. There's nothing he can really do, so I reckon like an early TKO for Santos. But we'll move further down the card to Chris Gutierrez, I think that's how you say it, versus John Castaneda. I will be going with... They're both very basic. Like, this card is full of 50-50s, as previously stated. They're both... It's like every time they fight, it's like the average bantamweight fight. It's like, you know... Because Gutierrez has actually fought like decent competition, and he's had decent fights with him, I'll go with Gutierrez purely off that. They're both very basic though. Like, John Castaneda could win this, but I'm choosing Gutierrez. I think he can get this done. And then I'll move on to the first fight of the night, which is Santos versus Ozzy Diaz. I'm choosing Santos purely off him just being good everywhere, and Ozzy Diaz is a bit slobby. He fought the guy last who's now fighting Anthony Smith. Yeah, obviously he's gonna kill Anthony Smith because he's terrible. He shouldn't even be in UFC. Obviously, Santos is making his debut in a big arena. It could be a bit stage fright, but I reckon he's got good boxing. He has great frames for grapplers too. He just has the opportunity to cage hug too. He did hug a lot in his Dana White's Contender Series fight. And it's like, you know what I'm trying to say by that. I'm choosing Santos. So, as an overview, I'm going with Santos, Gutierrez, Santos again, two Santoses on the card, Leal, where did I go with this one? Petrosian, if he gets out-grappled, I'll cry. Joshua Van, Curtis Blades, Ruthie, Lucindo, Bamondes, Fiziev, and Magomed. Thanks for watching the video. Comment your predictions and subscribe.